It is April 24th, 2023. We're at the Rouses Point American Legion Post 912. It's the 4th of April, and we're going to be talking about the 4th of July. Maybe not specifically that date, but a date nearby that date.
That's right.
Long before either one of these folks we're looking at here were born, a fellow named George Ducharme and a few other folks decided it'd be fun to have a parade in Rouses Point, and by golly, for the past 60 plus years, it's been happening, and these folks want to keep it going at least another year or 10 or whatever. And we're going to start with the chairperson here. And your name, young lady?
Karen Meyerstone.
Karen, and you are the chairperson and the ringleader of all this?
Yes, I guess you could call
She is.
that. Wonderful supporters.
Is it chief instigator? Is that the correct title?
I just like to have a big party.
She drives the rest of us to get our jobs done.
Okay, now I see people from Champlain here and
Yes.
other points. So what are they doing at a meeting for Rouses Point Parade?
What we're hoping to do is broaden this. We're a community, right? Shouldn't just be Rouses Point. Everybody comes around to have a good time. So we're trying to meld it all together and get everybody that we can joining us and getting things going between the villages and the towns and all around.
All right, so you'll be at the St. Mary's Bazaar Parade then, I hope.
Yes, absolutely. And all the rides and stuff, playing games.
Okay, so we'll let Jason fill us in here, but this committee got instigated how many years ago now? I know Josie and Kieran were running it all by the lonesome for quite a while.
For a very long time, and they did an amazing job. And now that I know what goes into it, a fine, fantastic job. I think we're on year 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, we got hit in the COVID year, so that one was just a practice run. And been having fun ever since.
Okay, and the parade is when?
It is July 2nd.
2nd of July?
Yep. We are doing the event. It's June 30th, 1st and 2nd this year.
Okay, I think
Yep.
that's a Canadian holiday, 2nd of July. I can't remember the.
Someone did say that was, actually, which will be nice. It'll be nice to have our neighbors come down.
I'm sure they
That'd be
will.
great.
They've been known to show up. I think I've seen at least 3 or 4 Canadians over the years.
I hope so. I hope so. That would be great.
All right, Jason, so if I let Karen go to our meeting, do you know everything I'm going to ask?
I'm going to try my
There are
best.
things in the works, but he's got it.
Okay, all right. So
Thank you.
Jason Borey, and we're not going to talk about The Wizard of Oz, but
No.
although that was an outstanding
Well, thank you, Calvin.
program. It was just amazing. I've heard nothing but people saying how great it was. I'm sure that you're the same boat, but even more so than me.
Yeah, if I can just talk to that for a second, it's one of those chances, I suppose, when we have had the auditorium under renovation, and we had the COVID years, to be able to kind of come back with a real swing at bat. And in the Wizard of Oz, I think we're trying to bring back what maybe some would say was the golden age of the shows at Northeastern Clinton, and maybe we're hitting that mark now, and Wizard of Oz maybe is the start of that. So.
Well, you've set the bar extremely high, so
Well.
it's going to be tough to follow that.
Well, we'll see what we can do. But yes, crowds were excellent. We've had many lovely comments on our Facebook page, and people have sent emails. The students have come back with comments from their family and friends, and faculty, staff. It's the remarks are still pouring in, so we're pretty pleased. So thank you.
Okay. All right, so I see you every year on the bandstand announcing the parade, and usually it's on a Sunday. Is that going to be the case again?
Yes.
July 2nd is a Sunday?
That is correct.
And
Yes.
6 o'clock? What time are we starting this year?
We're doing the same start time as last year. We're moving it to, so last year it was moved to 6:30. We're going to do 6:30 again this year.
Okay.
The goal being to bring the parade a little closer to the fireworks time to
Right.
kind of shorten that distance between end of parade and beginning of fireworks. So we think about a half an hour. And of course we want a huge parade. So we want the parade to just go on and on and on and on. So we're looking for entries as of right now. Just double checking with the committee tonight that the form is all ready to go and people are satisfied with what's there, so we can get as many participants as possible. We're looking for floats, we're looking for marching, anybody that wants to actually just walk in the parade. We're looking for bands, We're looking for car entries, fire departments. If you think it should go in a parade, it can go in a parade. And appropriately, I don't know if you're aware of this, but this year's theme is Mardi Gras. So Mardi Gras, of course, is known for having a huge party with a massive parade. So we would like to try to emulate some of that energy from the Big Easy here on the streets of Rouses Point. So we won't be on the shores of the Mississippi, but we'll be on the shores of Lake Champlain. So.
Okay, Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday, but that's the beginning of Lent, the day before Ash Wednesday. But this is a Mardi Gras theme in July.
I couldn't tell you when themes started, but it does kind of add a little bit to the parade. Of course, we want red, white, and blue, and of course, we want a celebration of our nation's independence, but also to have this extra theme that if people want to, go in a slightly different direction. Mardi Gras is very colorful. It's lots of masks and kings and queens and jokers and lots of fun, of course, in the French tradition, right? So.
So I would guess that you probably don't have this many people at your meetings on a regular basis. I would hope you do, but probably not.
No, it's a little out of step to have so many people, but it's so nice.
That's great.
I agree with you. It's so nice to see so many people interested in at least having an inquiry as to what's going on here, as well as maybe bringing some suggestions, and maybe wanting to see certain activities, make sure that they come back next year, or how they can improve those activities, or maybe introduce new ones. So.
Every once in a while you'll hear somebody, well, they didn't do this. Well, here's the next meeting. Show up.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people have gotten that message over the years, and that's why you're getting a good turnout here. Instead of just sitting back and complaining, say, why didn't they do this? Yes. Well, show up and get it done.
And so this committee's been meeting for a few years now, and over the last couple of months, the committee's really made a point to try to let others know that this committee exists and how to get involved. And I think we're starting to see some of the product of that now, which is really, you can't do this without having multiple people. I mean, how Josie. I don't know how they organized everything that they did. Back in the day when it was the fire department had overseen, the program. When you have a lot of hands working at it, it allows you to do something that's quite large. But when there's only a small few number of people that are trying to organize a massive weekend-long event, it's very, very difficult. So this is great to see a lot of help and support and people that are willing to, throw their hand in here to see us either raise money or get some event up and running. Yeah.
The committee is called Stars and Stripes on the Lake. Is that the Facebook page and so on?
Yeah, Rouses Point, Stars and Stripes on the lake. I believe we're also throwing in the word Independence Day celebration. So Rouses Point, Stars and Stripes on the Lake, Independence Day celebration. We not that we dislike the 4th of July, but we thought if it was just maybe something to set us apart from some of the other activities that are around in the area. I know Plattsburgh has their event, and it's often 4th of July.
It's on the 4th of July.
Yes.
Alberg has on the 4th of July.
Right, and we don't really usually operate on the 4th of July.
Unless it falls on a Sunday.
That's correct. So we thought if we walked away from using the 4th and using Independence Day, which is also, right, it's kind of that you can swap the two out, we thought that might give us a little bit of a slightly different, shape for people getting involved. And when it could be, because sometimes it falls in late June when we have this event. It's not it's not necessarily even in July.
I've seen it on June 30th before.
That's correct.
Yeah. And and it's nice to see parades continue. On the way down here, I was thinking there used to be one every year in Altona. There used to be one every year in Moore's Forks. There used to be one every year in Lion Mountain. There's a whole lot of parades that have disappeared over the years. And it's nice to see the St. Mary's Bazaar parade still going.
Sure.
This parade here, Cadyville has one. Alberg still does theirs. Plattsburgh has theirs. So it's and Chazy has theirs too, with the same day as the St. Mary's Bazaar parade. So it's nice to see there's a few parades, but I'd say, as someone who tries to record as many as I can, it's probably doing half what I used to as far as parade coverage. So it's nice when you can keep this going. This tradition, as I said at the start, goes back 60 plus years.
Yes, when I put the form together, I put 62 on there. So, and I'm pretty sure that accounts for the COVID year. So I believe that's the continuation. It's been, you're talking 6 decades. And as you mentioned, a parade goes back centuries. These concepts, really millennia. They were doing parades back during Roman times and stuff. So the idea of being able to showcase things for those that are around on the route or the area. Where else or what else can you think of where you can have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of people that align a route that can see all of the same thing, not quite at the same time, but pretty close at the same time. It's a really remarkable
This
thing.
is a 2 mile plus parade route here, so it's
Yes.
a lot of space for people to gather. And now, do you have things going on besides the parade?
Yes. So the kickoff really starts with the Thursday evening concert at the stage at the Samuel de Champlain stage here down at the park in Rouses Point, and this is tied in with their series. The stage puts on a series every summer of free events for the public.
Great committee.
That's correct.
Dedicated committee.
That's correct. So we kind of start that as the kickoff, their event on Thursday night,
Do you know who's performing?
I'm not seen that schedule yet, but I'm pretty sure they must have most of that locked in if it's not almost locked in. So yeah, so that's the kickoff, and then we have some music and some events going on Friday. Same thing with Saturday, which there's a lot. We're trying to focus a lot of stuff down at the Civic Center and at the park and the stage. We've got food trucks. We've got a craft fair. We have now. Normally, we've been doing the carnival, but due to the timing of our event and some of the vendors that we've reached out to, ones we've used in the past and others that we talked with this year, they were all committed. Or slightly out of our price range for this year. So our carnival is not going to be like it was last year. We are going to offer some bouncy houses and some other activities, but it's going to be a little different than it was last year.
That'll be at the
it'll be
Civic Center.
It'll be right at the Civic Center. That's correct.
I keep wanting to
Yes.
say Rec Center, but it's the Civic Center.
Yes, so it'll be right at the Civic Center, and that will be all weekend long. And then on Sunday, of course, there'll be more of the events down there. Music. We have a Children's Day event. The firemen have their barbecue.
Chicken barbecue.
Yep. And we'll have the parade in the evening, and then we'll have the fireworks. And we are hiring the same company we did for fireworks last year. And what a great way to cap off an Independence Day celebration. And interestingly enough, the second is actually the day that the Founding Fathers in the Second Continental Congress did approve the resolution that came in from Virginia to agree for independence. So in essence, it kind of is, in a quasi way, our real Independence Day. So
It was announced on the 4th.
yeah, that's correct. But that's when they did vote for it. So the second is going to be just as good. So. Yeah. And the same company that we hired last year for fireworks, they did a fantastic job. We heard many remarks about the quality and the level of the fireworks that we had. So we're going to continue that. That's where a lot of the budget goes. We do pay for the bands that we do have in the parade, and we do have some prize money for entries. So if people are interested in being in the parade, we do have prizes for all first place positions. We also pay for the fireworks. We, in some cases, have to pay some of the vendors to be here. So it's very costly. Believe it or not, this is not necessarily an event where it's just we kind of throw it together and it's all volunteer. We're all volunteering.
Right, but you got expenses.
It's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So when you see signs or posters and it has sponsors on it, you really need to take note of that, because they have taken the time and they take the honor and the pride to write checks to help support the program. It's not cheap to run this.
Now, is Peter Pan Productions out of St. Jean-sur-Richelieu still operating? They used to have a lot of bands that they would make available for a cost.
Yes, that's exactly it. Last year we had the Fife and Drum out of Montreal. They were great. and again, that they do cost money. We've got the straw hatters. We had Fife and Drum out of Hannaford Fife and Drum out of Vermont. So we are trying to get from up north. And of course, that was closed down for the longest time.
Yeah,
so it's nice to be able, now the border wide open. So we get the
Amtrak's back.
Yes, that's very yes.
yesterday.
I'm about to say this is recent news, right? And we just want, as Karen had put this, it's really a community. So if we can showcase our Canadian friends and relatives from across the border, we can have plenty of our communities come here, just like our fire departments and our community organizations go to their parades. We want everybody to come here. So it doesn't matter what county you're from, what community you're from, come on down. We'd love to have you as part of our celebration.
Of course, this video will be on the World Wide Web at the Hometown Cable YouTube channel, but on Spectrum, it's also shown for some reason in the Utica, Rome area. So,
Really?
so if you're watching this in Utica, Rome,
Hey.
look up Rouses Point. It's right in the northeast tip of the state.
We have such a beautiful little spot that we call home here. So come on up and see us. Yeah.
You can meet some people from Vermont. You can meet some people from Canada, and
Sure.
a whole lot of Rouses Pointers and Champlainers, and have a good time. So. It's nice that you're having other events. You got to have other events, otherwise, if it's just had the parade, it wouldn't be enough. You got to have something to keep that crowd, get that crowd, attract them to.
Especially when you're looking at a whole weekend. It's
Yeah.
not, some communities just do a one-day thing where they'll just say everything's on this
Yep.
day, whether it's a Founder's Day or whatever. They'll just do a
Which is enough work.
That is correct. So picture trying to put on a whole weekend's worth of entertainment, activities that are not only friendly for the community itself, so we're not making the people that live here in Rouses Point wish they didn't, but so they're happy, but also encouraging people to come in and see our restaurants, enjoy our waters along the shores of Lake Champlain, go and see the vendors, and just enjoy a nice summer weekend.
I was in high school when this parade began in the early '60s, and our thing was to get our haying done, hay in the barn on 4th of July weekend. You'd always be getting as much hay in as you could, then sit in the lawn and look out toward Rouses Point and watch the fireworks. That's as close as we got. We were too busy being farmers to make it to the parade. But I think in everybody's memories, there's something there of being with their family and seeing a parade somewhere. That's kind of special with every kid that's ever grown up. You remember family functions like that.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. And whether it's going really far away for that parade, or whether it's the ones that you remember locally. You mentioned that. I remember every year going to my grandmother's house in Moores and going in for the Labor Day parade and experiencing that. Just it floods back a lot of great times, right? So we want to continue that tradition. I think it's important.
Now, obviously, you got a nice crowd of people here, but there's always room for one more. If people want to get involved, what should they do?
Super easy. All they have to do is we meet every first Tuesday of the month, right here at the Post 912 here, Montgomery Post 912 in Rouses Point, American Legion, and we meet usually in the banquet room at 7:00. So we'll be doing that. We do that all year long, actually. So this is not a committee that just meets for, say, half a year. We meet 12 months a year, and then as it gets closer to the event, so coming in May and June, we'll probably meet more than just once a month, just to make sure we have all of our stuff together. But yeah, that's an easy way to get involved, to just start to come to the meeting. So 7:00, first Tuesday of the month here at the American Legion. If you want to reach out, you can simply look in your in the search bar, just type into the search bar in your Facebook page, Rouses Point Stars and Stripes on the Lake, and you'll get our Facebook page, and you can simply message us there if you'd like, or make a comment if you want, and somebody will get back to you. There's also an email there that you can, I'm pretty sure it's starsandstripesonthelake@gmail.com. And if you're looking for the parade, it's rousespointparade@gmail.com. And we also have a link to a Google form if you want to sign up for the parade. You can also contact myself, Jason Bory, or you can contact Karen Weyerstall. You can even call here to the American Legion and they'll get you in touch with somebody. So whether you're an email person, a Facebook person, you are I want to make a phone call, you can even call the village office here in Rouses Point, and they'll hook you up with a contact name and number.
Okay, and as you said to start, you got a car or a truck, an old car, an old truck, an old tractor,
It's all
some
welcome.
kind of a float that you want to put together.
It's all welcome, yes. So we support any commercial or business entries that want to be a part of it.
You got a business?
Yeah, nonprofit community organizations. I'll use like skating club is a good one. Usually youth athletics will take part in the parade. Um, any civic organization, any a religious organization. It does not matter. So floats, cars. Antique or new, doesn't matter. You have a brand new car you think's worth putting in there, we'll take that as well.
Sure.
We also have horse entries, animal entries. Really, the sky's the limit. There's nothing we won't put in the parade unless it's obscene. So, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't want to be marching behind a horse, though.
No, we try to put the horses at the end. So,
We won't explain why, but there has been evidence in the past that it's
Yes.
a good idea to
yeah.
put them toward the back of the parade.
And we often get several local fire departments,
yeah.
and that includes Clinton County, Franklin County, Vermont, and even Quebec.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah. We're part of the mutual aid system here. When we have a major fire here, we've got Canadians coming through, Vermonters coming through, along with our Clinton County fire departments coming to our aid. So yeah, it's very nice to, and fire trucks and their apparatus and those firefighters are important parts of those parades.
Completely agree. Yes, and it's also a great time for fire departments to be able to showcase some of their more unique or interesting vehicles. Maybe it's a new vehicle, maybe it's an antique vehicle or an older vehicle. Maybe they've got a rescue boat. Maybe they have some ATV there. Whatever it is. We will take it all, and it's great to showcase those things. At farms, I mean, any floats are one of the things that we tend to get the least amount of. I know
It's a lot of work.
they do take a lot of work to put together, but maybe with the theme this year of Mardi Gras, maybe people will be a little more inspired, and of course, beads and all of those kinds of fun things that are often associated with Mardi Gras, baubles and little baby dolls and little things like that. Maybe people will be into wanting to masks, balloons, stuff like that. Could be a lot of fun.
I usually cover that Alberg parade, and they do have some floats in there. And just as a suggestion, maybe you could reach out to that committee and see if there's some people over there who have floats in their parade that might want to come here 2 days before that, just as a dry run
Yes.
for their Alberg parade.
Yes,
It's
that-
just across the bridge, so it's not like it's a long distance haul.
It's actually not a bad idea, and that's something that we've been looking into, is to make our parade known to other communities that do have parades, and just making sure, like, if you're already going to be doing, say, Alberg, or you're already going to be doing Plattsburgh, or you're going to be doing some other community, like if you're already going to put all the time to put a float or some
Yeah.
kind of entry in, you might as well come down and try here. Again, we do have prizes, so it's not like you just be doing it for fun. There's a potential that you could actually win one of the spots that we have as a category.
Yeah, but the thing that I think amazes me the most is we're usually watching that parade about 2 miles into it. It used to be in front of St. Patrick's Church, but now it's at the library. And when I see those, that color guard carrying that flag, making those little steps, and having done that for 2 miles, and they're still going strong, and these
Yes.
guys are not 20 years old. It's just amazing sometimes that they
Yes.
do that.
And it's the American Legion as the really our kind of our home sponsor for the event. They will lead, but how you could not think of a more appropriate group to lead off, as
Definitely.
it is a 4th of July celebration, and what better way than to celebrate our veterans and our military forces, right?
Right. Well, Jason, anything else? I'm just about run out of questions.
Oh, well, no, Calvin, I think you've helped us really promote what we're trying to do here, and that is continue the tradition of bringing this 4th of July Independence Day celebration to the community, being here in Rouses Point. But again, it may have Rouses Point in the name, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's just about Rouses Point. It's about the greater, wider community, and we want people to get involved, because I think if there's one thing we can all agree as Americans, we love this country, and we love celebrating our Independence Day.
All right. Won't ask you to say anything else after that. Great parting words. All right, I think they've just assigned you to about 6 committees while you've been over here. So.
Oh, well, lucky me.
All right, we've been chatting with Karen Weierstahl initially and Jason Bory, and this is
Thanks,
Calvin Castine. And go to that Stars and Stripes Facebook page and learn more about this, or if you come down in person on the first Tuesday of the month.
Yes, and if you're looking to be a sponsor,
Yes.
feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be glad to take any amount. No amount is too small, and no amount is too large. So, well, please, if you're a business or an organization that would like to sponsor, please reach out to us, and we'll get you the proper paperwork and get you up to maybe be one of our leveled sponsored people.
Even if you have to create a whole new category for
Hey, well, that would be great.
super platinum. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
All right, thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Cal.